All right. I don't want to do another Maggie run, but here we go. I'd agree with that, Holly. Too, I don't know about like. I think that's definitely seems to be today's culture for the most part. I live in a small town, so it's quite a bit different here. I think COVID has wildly changed that a lot as well. Uh, there's been a lot of cooperation amongst parents through all this shit, especially when it first started. Like helping everybody figure out how to get online and making sure everyone had the technology they needed to be online. But yeah, the small town life's a lot different here. This isn't really worth starting, is it? Not when it makes that noise. Yeah, there are some tough kids out there for sure. But for the most part, even like, I don't even hate if you're not a great parent, or have some interesting parenting techniques. I just think there's a lot of like really god awful adults more than what it comes down to their parenting is I just don't like dealing with I don't like dealing with adults. They're usually just shitheads. Kids are not. But I do think that we are all very, very, very selfish and super self-involved, and you see it in everything we do. We were talking about it earlier. People fucking shining their bright lights at you to check if your brights are on and shit. Like, couldn't imagine being that fucking high-strung and feeling like I'm so important that I gotta do that every time I drive somebody whose lights are a little too bright. Oh my god. How dare they possibly use their bright lights on me? A lot of people just feel like the world's out to get them too, you know? They'll like construct their own reality of like using the bright lights as an example. If they shine their brights at somebody thinking the person has their brights on, well, I can't believe they would have bought those crazy, ridiculous, bright headlight bulbs. When in reality, it's just the stock headlights in the car. But in their mind, they're going to sit there and create this alternate reality and tell anyone who will listen that they're sure they bought some aftermarket, overly bright headlights. Those shouldn't even be legal. That type of behavior makes me sick. I did, Sheet. Our trip got cut short due to unforeseen circumstances, which really sucked, but we enjoyed the days we were there. I'm pretty disappointed that we had the show come home early, but means I get more Isaac. Oh, driving is so bad, dude. People have such bad behavior driving. It's crazy to me. Crazy. Yeah, I think everything's fine. So I went with another family and they had to leave, so we drove together, so we didn't have a choice but to also go home. I just choked on my dumb drink. Like I'll have a little bit of if I see somebody doing something really dumb, I'll have a little bit of like vocal road rage, but I won't do anything about it. I won't treat them like shit on the road because of it or anything. I won't pass them for no reason but to express my anger, you know? Like today, I drove by a guy, or was driving by a guy and he like nosed out in front of me, and I was in my big truck. And I said, you know, if you want to fucking die, man. But like, that's it. That's my level of rage. Go ahead. See what happens. And not like I was going to get out and murder him, but like my truck was going to run over his tiny Ford Fiesta because he pulled out in front of me. What's that weird cloud back there? What's that? My fart? A lingering farts? Ah, yes, lingering farts. Is music. I drive without music. The secret to driving is to get into that weird Zen state where you like don't even realize you've been driving, and you like all of a sudden realize you've gone like 20 miles and you don't know how you got there. Is that just me? Does that happen? To anyone else? Drive for fun. That's weird. I like road trips and going places, but I would never say what I do is driving for fun. That could easily include running a red for you. I feel like I drive really good in that like weird hyper focus zoned mode, zoned out mode. It's like the only time I feel like I can shut my brain off. Is just driving. Achieve flow. I sound like my friends who say they drive better high. But no. I think the two are different. I've driven a lot. California back multiple times. I'm in Michigan. I've driven quite a bit. Many a mile has been drove. I've been in 2 accidents that were my fault. One on my first day with my license. I'd never been on a one-way road before. Turned into the side of a guy because there was no I thought there was no oncoming traffic. I thought it was safe to turn left. That's just not worth the devil deal. Fuck off. And then once in the winter, I rolled into a ditch. Like, the gentlest fucking roll sounds extreme, but it was like slid at 2 miles an hour off a ditch and rolled. Like, I had enough time to, like, tell everyone in the car, I'm going to crash. I can't stop. Brace yourselves. Here we go now. My minus speed. Is there any way I possibly can make that without getting hit? No. Maybe. I got hung up tiny bit. I don't know though. Go to the bottom of spikes. No, that makes sense. Yeah, it was the road we have here that's between two lakes. And it was just literally sheer ice. Every single person that like tried to stop and help us slid off the road. Everybody that got out of their car to try to help us fell on their ass. It was insanity. Those spikes were going up and down. They looked like they were stationary. I had stared at them for a minute. Nothing relevant happening during the drive, so you don't bother consolidating it. When you realize that it is that, realize this as if you don't know how you've driven as far as you have, but you're still normal while it's happening. You just can't reflect on it. That's exactly how I would have, like, if I could word, that's exactly how I would explain it. That's good. Yeah, that state's tight. It's almost a deja vu feeling, right? And I think that's part of it. It's because, like, you were there, but you get this, like, moment of, I don't remember how I drove that far, which feels relieving. I just made it 40 miles without even realizing it. But in reality, there's just nothing memorable to remember. That's a cool brain thing. Way to go, brain. Because you blown through any lights? Well, now you know. It was just, the driving was so normal. Unlock fast travel because I finally got far enough away from my enemies. I really wish teleportation was a thing, but I also know that I would never use it because you can't. I'm not going to let you deconstruct my body and reconstruct it on the other side. That's how you end up with a fuck ton of clones in a basement somewhere, you know? Where does, like, memory detail fall in? Because I feel like my memory detail has gotten really bad in my old age. I'm not even that old. We could all take turns streaming though. No, if I had a, I've thought so much about having a clone that I know exactly what would my clone would do, which is attempt to kill me because I would attempt to kill it. That like I really don't want clones hanging out. It would certainly be just like if you clone me 13 times, it would just be fucking Hunger Games. Like throw us in a ring with random weapons. We all know what's coming. If I wasn't getting deconstructed, I don't know, like I'd have to at least have a general understanding of the science behind any kind of teleportation to consider it. And even then, like, science scares the fuck out of me. I don't like to say I'm like a spiritual person or anything like that, but I'm certainly paranoid. That's not where I was going with that, but I don't know. There's something about, like, I'm super paranoid of ever being put under. I haven't had to do it, but like super paranoid of it. I don't know, man. Sleep's bad enough. Every time you recall something, the memory becomes, and vulnerable to degradation. The more you recall, less accurate the memory, and the more pieces of connection put in. Not like, that's interesting. I feel like some people tell the same story with. Is that part of it too, though? Like, we start adding our own details to it, or like saying the same details over and over and over, that we burn those into our brain as a repetition memorization, because I feel like that's how it goes for a lot of people with memories. When I hear them say it, I'll be like, man, you've told this story like so many fucking times in order for you to remember all these weird specific details. Would I be more likely to travel through wormhole? String theory. I don't know. Like, what the fuck, Black and Mill, 20 more gift subs. Like, how hot is she? On the other side of the portal. Who am I visiting? Like, that's really what it's gonna come down to. But thank you so much for the another 20 gift subs. Would I fuck a female version of myself if I loved her? If I thought I could love her? I'm just a terrible, terrible Isaac player today. I'm a terrible, hopeless romantic. I don't know. I gotta have some feeling that I can't exactly explain that I'm gonna call love, even though, whatever. I don't know. Otherwise, I just can't do the deed. Like, literally, physically cannot perform the necessary actions required. You get what I'm getting at, right? My dick don't work. So yeah, like, I don't know. If I had feelings for myself, I guess I would. Emotional connection. Sure, I don't know. It's one of those things that, like, you know it's there, but putting any word to it feels silly. Because it's more than emotional, right? It's like the whole package. You gotta have it all. It's just not just one or the other, it's everything, right? I have to be physically, emotionally, not just attracted, but interested, intrigued, curious. So much more to me, anyway, that goes into, like, do I want to make the sex berserker? Sorry to disappoint all the dude bros in chat. I know you wanted me to tell you I'm a cool ladies man, but nah, it can never, like, there was like a brief moment where I was super angry at an ex-girlfriend that I'd slept around a bit. Like, not slept around means cheating, right? No, it doesn't. I don't know, I'm old now. Terms are terms. Anyway, where I fucked people I wasn't interested in, but I was like just getting sheer rage boners, so I could do it. But that was many years ago. Sleeping around is usually cheating. Okay, yeah, that's not what I meant. It was just being a bit of a whore. Yeah, I thought it was just sleep with lots of people. If I said I slept around on her, you cheated. But if I said I slept around a lot, it just meant I was a man whore. Two different things. Tyrell, thank you for the 47. Fuck you. You're too fast. I'm Maggie. I'm slow. Stop this. Oh, good. Blue and yellow ain't gonna give a sub. But I don't understand this concept of just fucking. It's like just hanging out with someone you don't really like. Nah, dog, I'll watch fucking Stargate. I guess sex is... It's weird because it's... I feel like it's not that low on my priority list until I say things like that, and I'm like, man, I guess I just hate sex. What have you walked into? Me discussing my needs to fuck. That sounded like I'm super horny and need to fuck, but like, what is required in order for me to fuck? It's very specific. It's not really. It feels that way when I talk to people. What a weirdo. When you fuck someone, you want it to go somewhere? Creepy. I'm not gonna... I don't want to put a label on it beyond... I hate the idea of putting a label on it, even. That's just unnecessary. Since I was telling you about my dating app adventures. Oh, how are you dying in your own piss? I had another one where, like, I met up with them, and they were, like, very adamant about, you know, we're not fucking. And I was like, yeah, of course not. Whatever. You know, I get it. I get saying it. Bubstag, thank you for the 22 months. I get saying it. But then, like, it got late, and I was like, you know, all right, I'm going to head home. See ya. And then they didn't text me. So I finally, like, you know, it wasn't that long. I don't know. Let's say 16 hours. I was like, hey, what happened? Well, you left. And I was like, yeah? You said no fucking, and I said no fucking. Yeah, but you left, and I was like, of course I fuck. And then I was over it. I was like, yeah, I'm out. This was all a big charade. I was very upset. Still upset, honestly. Bringing back a lot of repressed anger. I honestly can say every time I've left, it's always resulted in like a shocked, you left. Well, yeah. That's what's, I hate it all. And the worst part is a lot of times it's not even like a no means yes as much as like I should have still gave it, like they expected me to still give it a go. Like to, and this is why I hate men, right? Like they expected me to say I wasn't going to, but then still do the dude thing and like try anyway. Not that they were gonna put out, but like they would have liked me to have made an effort to try, knowing it was a no. I'm not gonna lie, I mean that does sound nice to receive. I like to feel pretty. Uh-oh, what floor was that? It's via... It's related, sure. It's, I guess. I don't like boundaries to begin with. That sounds bad. But I don't like established... Like, I hate that that has to be said. Like, we live in a world that has to be said. There's a streamer friend of mine. She doesn't stream anymore. But, she needed a place for PAX. And I offered her my hotel room. And I've said this story a million times. But it shook me to my core at how fucking gross the world is. I offered my hotel. We've been friends for a while, but only on stream. Like, in no way any kind of relationship that I thought would have possibly meant we were hooking up. But I offered her my hotel. And, like, I knew it was, you know, a risky offer. Like, or not a risky offer, but it could have been taken the wrong way. But, like, she said, yeah, no big deal. And then, like, leading up, like, a week later, or week before, she sends me a message, like, so, like, I feel like I just have to tell you. All my friends have been warning me that I have to tell you, like, you know this isn't an exchange of goods. And I'm like, yeah, fuck, don't ever. I hate that you ever felt like you had to say that. That's so fucked up. I guess there's just so many people, though, that live in this world of... They can't read the situation or the room, right? I don't know that I've ever made an advance. Once. That's not true. There was one time where I made an advance, like an actual attempt at some sort. It's just like kissing, and I was very young, where I was rejected. And like, I don't think it's because I'm some handsome hunk as much as I make sure before I fucking try. What's wrong with the world that people don't? Right? I would hate to make someone uncomfortable and myself uncomfortable. I do it mainly. I'm honest about it. Mainly for selfish fucking reasons. I don't want to be uncomfortable. Rejection sucks. There's like a shitload of very easy ways to even jokingly hint about, like, hey, you interested, without having to just fucking, guess I'm going for it. People are really bad at reading signals. Again, though, like, I don't know, man. The people that I find are bad at reading signals are like, it's like they just don't care to even attempt to read the signals. Selfish again. Just zero fucks given. See, it's hard to care about a Maggie run. Yes, I do. It's fucking. I'm not complaining. I know that it's far worse to be a female in this scenario, but it sucks to try to be a normal dude because I feel like I'm just always considering a creep might say that and mean something else. Yeah, that's what I do. I just be awkwardly honest about everything. Which is great fun too, because it's like, uh, it always brings such shock. Shock and awe comes from honesty, which is hilarious to me. Oh, never awkward blunt about sex stuff. No, I don't. Again, I don't think it's necessary. I think it's very. Maybe I'm just very lucky, but like every romantic or sexual situation I've been in has been very easy to read. But I mean, think about it. How many fucking there's fucking books about just go for it and shit that exist for dudes. It might just pan out. I want this trinket. I'll drop it on the next floor if I have to. Mac Daddy, thank you for a tier 3 sub. Mac Daddy. Too kind. Are sociopaths, right, dude? I love getting to know people. Like actually getting to know people. It's my least favorite part about streaming is it's so hard for me to get to know you guys like on an individual basis because I genuinely enjoy. I feel like there's so much variance in life, upbringing and all that shit, family. I want to get in the fucking weird nitty gritty and know about your fucking Uncle John, right? Like that's the kind of shit I want to just get to know. I love that. I couldn't imagine just running around playing a numbers game and ignoring all that bullshit. Sold and did drugs. Sounds like a fun guy. Or possibly a horrible mess for your family to deal with. Either way, I want to know more. Same reason I share all the stories with you. That's just like an honesty thing, more so than anything. But kinda, yeah. It's a little bit therapy, a little bit honesty. A lot of it's just funny. Maybe some coping in there, you know. Hit of that, a little hit of that. And over the years now, I've just gotten a lot of positive response from it. From people who dealt with, you know, tough childhoods and bad family situations, divorces, all that shit. I don't know. You know, it's nice to know there's somebody else. You. Speed's nice, but tears down kind of suck. Nice. It can be nice to know there's someone else going through some of the same. I tweeted this earlier, but I was afraid because last time I tweeted about COVID, my Twitter got banned. But when I was in fucking Kentucky, there was a place that just had signs out for free vaccines, walk-ins welcome. And then I get home, and there's signs out in front of the pharmacy that say, by appointment only, blah blah blah, and the line is around the building. And I was like, man, it's crazy how close you can be, like 7-hour drive difference, and it's a whole different world, you know, of how people react to a vaccine. It was just a 24-hour Twitter ban. If I deleted the post, and I get it, it was could have been construed as misinformation, and it's just a fucking robot. It's not like Jack from Twitter was like, oh, this guy. It was just a robot that was attempting to ban misinformation. However, I make a living off making very dumb jokes and telling stories. So, like, you know, it's where we draw the lines, right? They have to be drawn. It has to be drawn. IMO. A line has to be drawn on just about everything. And somebody's always going to think that line is too far one way or the other. That's life, man. I'm just going to blow that up in my face because I can. What was my joke? That I was excited about getting 5G. This is a very count. Everyone said it. Ryan Reynolds tweeted like almost word for word what I tweeted. It got like 250,000 likes last I saw. I got banned for it in like 13 seconds. It was wild how fast I got banned for it. Dude, I wouldn't ban Ryan Reynolds either. He's super fucking dreamy. I don't blame Jack. Kraken, thank you for the 55 months. I'm not here to debate the lines either tonight, Chad. I'm not in the mood. Normally, I don't mind, but I'm not in the mood. I'm having fun tonight. A 40 character speedrun ain't never gonna happen. They don't allow bathroom breaks in the Isaac speedrunning community. Jack had to do the dirty work. That's right. Ryan Reynolds stole my totally original joke and got Twitter to ban mine so he could repost it and get all it. I'm not gonna lie, that tweet was in 13 seconds was flying off the shelves. It was hot. I get it, Ryan. What's the last movie you've done? It slowed down for you a bit. There's a Deadpool 2? When did that happen? Any pickup lines when I go to the bar? Uh, no, I don't drink. Could you imagine what level of scumbaggery it would be for the guy who's never drunk to go to bars and use pickup lines on chicks? Jesus Christ. No, I don't. I don't have any pickup lines. And I don't go to bars. I know. I'm a big bag of disappointment. Hit him with like, my dad was an alcoholic, so I chose not to drink. That'll get him. That'll get him hot and fired up. Sitting in a bar. Hot and ready like a Little Caesars. That one's always weird too at my age. Not drinking means I'm in recovery. I have to explicitly say, no, no, no. Just a weird choice I make. Bit of a freak. Like 10 years on me. Like, I've tried things. Oh, I forgot to oh, I have undefined. Maybe that'll work. I've tasted things. I've never had any kind of alcohol intoxication. One time I accidentally chugged a bunch of tequila and made myself throw up because I was afraid of getting intoxicated. It's that level of attempting to not get drunk. How do I accidentally do that? I fell asleep at a party with a 2-liter of caffeine-free Pepsi. I'll never forget. I was on this weird kick of I thought caffeine-free Pepsi tasted better. Of a 2-liter of caffeine-free Pepsi sitting next to me, and my friends in the middle of the night thought it was funny to fill it with tequila. So I woke up in the morning and just hit that fucker hard because I was like 15, and you know, that's what I did at 15. Like, hadn't even wiped this sleep out of my eyes yet. And they all thought it was hilarious. So, out of spite more than anything, I just shoved my fingers down my throat. Did I just spew on the floor? We were in a boat, so I just threw up off the side of the boat. My friend's dad had a sailboat, and we would always just sneak away to it and use it as our own apartment when we were far too young to be alone. Like, not a fancy sailboat either. It was like an old 1970s, but it was big enough, you know? Good enough. Slurpy Boy, did I thank you? I used to carry around like red solo cups and stuff though in my late teen years, like 18, 19, 20. I just carried around at parties and shit because it was just too fucking annoying to deal with people asking goddamn questions about it. And it makes people uncomfortable. A few people have finally admitted to me that makes them like super uncomfortable when I'm like hanging out with them while they're drinking. Like I'm judging them. That's not it at all. I mean, I am, but like that's not. I'm judging you 24/7, sober or drunk. Welcome. Zeke told me that specifically, like, and I don't think he would care that he said it, but like it makes me sad. But yeah, like Zeke said, you know, he's on and off again with his drinking, and you know, I'm like this reminder that, you know, people can have fun without drinking. But I wouldn't have seen Zeke's nutsack like 13 times in a night if you didn't drink, so here we are. It is their problem, but, you know, whatever. Am I glad I did? Absolutely glad they saw his nutsack. He's pretty self-conscious drinking. Yeah, like I respect the honesty, man. It's better than just like avoiding me and not telling me why. But I really don't give a fuck if people drink. Uh, we're not gonna be friends if drinking is how you have fun, right? Like if fun equals a drink in your hand, we're not gonna be friends. This is facts. Because there isn't like there truly isn't a fun drunk. Sorry to break it to you, fun drunks in chat. Oh, communicating is so much better in ghosting, and I'm so bad about ghosting. It's because, like, I want to say something, but I'm trying to think of something to say that doesn't make me want to vomit. And then, like, all of a sudden it's been 2 weeks and I haven't said anything, and now I can never speak to you again because it's been 2 weeks. But then sometime down the line, if you matter to me, like, sometime down the line, far too long for it to be appropriate, I'll message you and, like, give you this whole spiel about how my anxiety that I just gave you guys. And it's true, but it doesn't make it any better. They do, Tad. Stay strong. It's hard, man. Like, it sounds stupid, but like, not drinking has caused a lot of dumb issues in my life, including relationships and everything. So many women I've dated, they're like, yeah, I'm cool with not drinking. And it's not even something I request or require. But they're like, I'm cool with not drinking. And then a year into the relationship, they're like, I just can't deal with it. I want to drink. I want to go to the bar. Okay. That's fine. Well, you don't drink. It's not fine. Okay. Okay. Multiple relationships. That has been a hot topic. Drunks didn't used to bug me as bad as they do now, but it gets old the older you get. The more you've been around it, the more you've dealt with it. Less fun. It's like stoners, you know? Stoners were funny. I was really hoping I'd get more keys here. Stoners still better than drunks. Sorry, drunks. They're more entertaining. Because they're at least just like dumb in a good way. Oh, I just gave him another key. More than I wanted to. Can't stand the smell of weed. I like the smell of weed. I laughed and didn't explain why. The other day, Alice, like, hinted at the smell in the car without, like, saying anything. And I've always said, you know, I talk to Alice like she's a little older than she is. And I was like, yeah, honey, that's marijuana. And she's like, I know. And I was like, how do you know? And she's like, well, I've heard you guys say it a whole bunch when we smell that. It's legal here. So, like, it's just, you smell it, like, constantly now. It's like everyone's biggest complaint with it being legal. They're sick of smelling it. You partake, but don't like smell much. I don't mind the smell. Some of it can get pretty intense, but for the most part, I don't mind the smell. I'd probably smoke pot if it weren't for the fact that it really makes me want to smoke cigarettes. Oh, I smoked cigarettes this week, Chad. I have to tell you this because it's important that I keep honest with chat. I broke my vape in Kentucky, and we were in the middle of nowhere. So cigarettes much easier to find than a vape. Richard, I know. I was honest with you though. It's not even like I was dishonest. I'm not hiding anything. Fuck off, y'all. It's been like everyone's response when I tell them. Like I'm trying to be honest about it so that everyone knows the why and what happened, and that I'm not like secretly sneaking behind your back to have cigarettes and I get this, oh, you fucking horrible human being. Fuck you guys. Next time I'll just smoke them and not tell you. Just disappointed? I'm not. I'm proud of myself. Smoked fucking like 3/4 of a pack of cigarettes and I didn't go buy more. Instead, I bought this vape. Oh, I wanted to show you that it just says 69. Oh, there it is. It just says 69 all the time. And my battery's dead. Like, it was a really weird experience. I won't lie, because I didn't know how long it was gonna take me to get vape. We were in the middle of nowhere in Kentucky, um, and I wasn't gonna be miserable for my daughter's whole vacation. Right? Like, I'd rather fucking get a smoking habit again than ruin. This vacation was a big deal. That's why I'm upset about it getting cut short. It was like we had a vacation plans last year before this COVID shit happened, and then COVID happened, vacation gets canceled, her mom and I separated. Like it was a really big deal that this vacation was fun and enjoyable to me. So like I definitely put it on this really high pedestal. But anyway, uh, but yeah, it was really weird. I was like super expecting to enjoy it, and then I didn't. Like I hated every cigarette I had, and they were never like it was like I was searching for that first high kind of thing. I don't actually know what that's like, but that's how I would describe it. Like I was expecting to just be like, oh my god, I missed you. You sweet, beautiful fucks. But it wasn't like that at all. However, I bought 2 packs just in case because I'd planned to go fishing that whole night and then we didn't end up fishing like hardly at all. So I only smoked a few. And I had the pack laying around the whole trip for days, whatever it was. And I kept looking at it like, man, I really want to smoke another one. But I didn't enjoy them when I did smoke them. So it was a very weird experience. And my vape was far more satisfying when I got it fixed than the pack of cigarettes was, which was interesting. Or got a new one. I dropped my vape and shattered it riding a stick horse. I thought you'd enjoy that too, Chad. We got to the Airbnb and there was one of those horses on a stick and I got all excited and ran over to it like an idiot and started riding around the house and it fell out of my pocket and broke. I like this new vape because it tracks how many puffs I've done, and I can't wait to crack like 100,000 puffs. I don't know if the number gets that big. Maybe it'll be like Y2K, and my vape will crash because it doesn't know how to roll past 999. What vape do I have? I don't know. It says Geek Vape on the front. I just went to a store and bought one because I was in need of it. Designed by Geek Vape. It's apparently like water resistant and shock proof. I don't know. Aegis? I don't. Yeah, it says that there. Yeah. Does that mean you can yeet it? It's the first thing I did. Everyone got mad at me. The first thing I did was fucking yeet the thing at the ground. What is this room? I'm just gonna mash my face into that. That fire didn't even get put out. I didn't throw it in the river, but I really wanted to see how waterproof it was. I can't afford to buy a second one, though. They move when you fire, oh. Well, that would have been way easier had I known that information leading up to this. Fuck you. Wow, Josh, I'm disappointed. Oh, rude. Oh, am I not killing you? I'm pushing buttons. It rolls over at 10k. These motherfuckers need to up their... I'm gonna hack it so I can get a higher number, a higher score. That's not even that high. I'm sitting at like 2,500. I just got this thing like 3 days ago. Ow, ow, ow. My beard hair is stuck in my vape, chat. Help me. Please. I'm gonna need little... Oh, that's a lot of money. I need scissors. That was brave. I'm just gonna live like this. I can't quite reach my mouse. Oh, it got out. Whew. Hydra, for science, you can yeet the thing if you want. Honestly, have no clue how much this costs. I did yeet it. Do you want me to yeet it again? I'm kind of afraid my tank will break. I yeeted it without my tank. I mean, I'll yeet it again. My daughter's asleep. Let's yeet it this way. What am I going to yeet it off of that'll make a good impact? That sounded good. I gotta find it though. It fucking bounced up underneath some fucking furniture. Where are you? It turned off, which scared me. But still seems to work. It's surrounded by rubber. Why? I don't know. They gave me $100 and said I could eat it again. That I would have made $12 if I broke the vape, I think. So I'm in. $100 is a lot of fucking money. They deserve something, though. Let's do it again harder. A long, long time ago, I said that if something in Isaac happened or didn't happen, I would fucking headbutt or I would shatter my monitor on my head or something along those lines, and attempted to headbutt through my monitor. Did you know LCD monitors are really, really hard to break with your forehead? I fucking clonked that thing as hard as I could and about whited myself out. Where's the clip? It might still exist. This was before clips. It's just a really loud tonk of me smashing my face into it. I have not figured out a good way to avoid these guys. Like, you can't keep the range necessary. Banned for doing that? Yeah. Everybody complains about Twitch nowadays, but I kind of hope it goes back to the old days. I snorted a fucking baby bottle pop on stream once. Let's go back to those days. I didn't get involved in the Queef controversy. And, like, to me, the whole thing is whatever. I don't really give a fuck one way or another. Do whatever you want. It's not my problem. But I do wish that I had that level of confidence. I mute my mic every time any sound comes out of my body because I don't want a clip of it to exist on the internet. One time I farted and, like, thought that I made it too obvious that I muted to fart. So I fucking said something because I was like, they're going to know anyway. We might as well, like, have a laugh about it. And then, like, someone clipped the exact moment where they could see I, like, leaned a little to fart. So whether or not you support Queef Stream, I support the concept of being that confident about yourself to just fucking let it rip. I think it's gross. Like, it's the same kind of shit as we talk about the online dating. It's one of those things that, like, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with, like, I farted, whoops. But there's something else about, like, accentuating a burp and a fart on stream is gross to me. You know what I mean? There's a difference between it happened and I like doing it. Ha ha ha. Like, I laugh at every fart outside of streaming. Me and my 8-year-old enjoy farts. But not everybody wearing fucking high-end earphones wants to hear me fucking put everything I got into a really good burp. And I respect that. By not burping. Like, very rarely. Every once in a while, a sneaker gets me. How are you not in time? Need a second more expensive mic to pick up bodily noises. I mute when I swallow because I'm a loud swallower. I hate it. Sometimes my nose whistles because it's broken too many times. Hate it. These are just me problems, I know. If I'm not using a controller, I attempt to mute to vape, but here we are. Did I even drop a fucking trinket? I don't know. This run's been forever. You're not sure if you're just hearing this as me. Somebody on stream one time was like, "Do you swallow loud?" And I'm like, "Well, never gonna try to. I'm gonna attempt to never swallow on stream again." The end. This was in like 2014. I'm surprised, as honest as I am about things that normal human beings wouldn't be honest about, I'm weirdly self-conscious about dumb things. I don't poop around people. I'll tell everyone I'm going to take a shit and then like go off on my own and have a shit, but I don't want you to just like I don't want to just walk off into the bathroom and have a shit and you to accidentally stumble upon the sound of 1,000 trumpets going off, you know? It's dumb, and I know it. That's what I said earlier, that some of it's like, some of the being overly honest is a little self-defense stuff too, you know? Instead of, being laughed at for it, let's laugh at it together. It's easier that way. In like a healthy way, right? Sure, let's go with it. Let's say it's healthy. I tweeted this earlier, but some of you don't use tweeters, so you get to hear about my tweeter experiences. I was taking a shit. Alice was in the shower, and she yells, "Daddy! Daddy, help!" And of course, you know, dad instincts kick in. And I just fucking, I mean, I didn't care what the situation was. I was on my way, right? Sprint down the stairs, flinging mud. What is it? What is it? What is it? I'm out of shampoo. Kids, you know. That's a mosquito. I saw you, motherfucker. Cutting onions over the 5 months. It's here, 85 fucking months. Sorry, I missed it. It's hot as heck, chat. Sweating to the oldies here. Tomorrow she's gonna get a talking to and a lesson in sound, because had she turned the shower off, she could have heard me yelling back to her, and we could have had a conversation. without me having to run. But I was trying to yell back to her before I, you know, ran a turd off. But she left the shower on, so she couldn't hear me yelling back to her. Turn off the camera and go full naked. I need to figure out what I'm going to do for an air conditioner. I need to buy a new one. Like, right at the end of last summer, I smoked. Mine got smoked. Probably because I ran it all summer on an extension cord. But it, like, melted into the extension cord and no longer wants to work. Bathroom walkie-talkies is a good idea. Except I feel like I've had to replace enough of my ex-wife's phones because she can't stop taking them into the bathroom with her. That it'll probably get ruined by humidity. They're better. They seem better now, the newer ones. That was like the #1 cause of lost phones for us for years was I could have been on a toilet paper. Never. I'm gonna let that happen. Surprisingly, I run out of everything else. Just buy waterproof ones. Well, that wasn't always an option. I'm old. You used to be able to buy phones, though, you could run over with a truck. And they had walkie-talkies. I miss the beep beep. That was the best way to obnoxiously communicate with people. I remember being arrested with drugs and being accused of being a drug dealer while my phone sat in my pocket going beep beep, beep beep, beep beep. Hey man, you there? Hey man, you there? And denying it the whole time. I just have a lot of friends. I always kept my jacket in this front pocket, or my phone in my front pocket of my jacket right here. And it was really funny because I felt like cops never took it from me. Like I made multiple calls from the back seat of a cop car. It's like they would pat me down, but never my chest. I guess it's a weird place to pat down. I'm thinking about pat downs now. We did them in Police Academy. Many moons ago and many arrests ago, I wanted to be a police officer. Oh boy, how things have changed. Never like a local cop, though. I always wanted to be like fucking ATF or something Some sort of real tough guy. Fuck, dude. Pat me down. It's been a long time. That'd be nice. That'd be good touches. You nice to me, bastard? The older I get, the more I think about it. Like, man, I couldn't imagine. The amount of dumb, like, speeding tickets my mom gets, and she's like a 62-year-old woman. Like, I wouldn't want to do that to some lady who cries. I'm sure my mom cries every time she gets a ticket. Or, like, fix-it tickets. Why am I holding undefined? I'm gonna use it. That's why. I'm not trying to dodge much. This is how we lost our last Maggie run and ended up the blue baby. I'm so over these low damage Maggie runs. Why doesn't she drive slower? Because she's a speed demon with a lead foot. It's a problem. I yell at her for it all the fucking time. But still, that's, like, I get that she shouldn't be speeding. But I also wouldn't want to be the guy ticketing the broke old lady. She doesn't get that many speeding tickets. She'd lose her license. It was just an example of something she could get a ticket for. She does drive too fast, though. I yell at her for it all the time. You're too old for this. She raced when I was a kid. Her and my dad both. She likes to always use that as her excuse. Ow. Okay. My mom heard me say on the stream the other day. I was joking. My house is like a real dump. It's like it's under construction and not getting finished. Anyway, long story short, my mom heard me say on stream the other day that I just like have been playing the sympathy card with my neighbors so they stop giving me shit about it. Because my wife left me. Woe is me. You know that thing? So she was giving me shit about that, telling me I needed to get back to work on it. And I was like, Mom, that's the whole way I got through fucking school, too. Was telling the principals about how you and Dad got divorced, and woe is me. That didn't make her any happier. It's a great strategy. Builds a serious emotional bond with your teachers. A little crying. Like it started genuine. But you know how kids be. You learn what works, and you stick to it until it doesn't work anymore. Do I still have a hole in the wall? Absolutely. I have no money to finish it. Since Kim left, my house is stuck. My life is trapped. Going full-time single parent is like cut my income in more than half. On top of the fact that I don't have a second income. So we're tight. We're living very tight. I'd love to sell it, but it's in such disarray that I haven't been able to do that either. The hole is not a hole per se. It's just, it's not a real wall. It's a temporary wall that's been there for like 2 years now. That's painted a different color than my house, and very obviously a temporary wall. Yeah, I'm still on the lake until I sell it. Or give it back to the bank. One or the other. Before my wife and I split, we were planning to do a very big remodel. So I tore a chunk off my house in an attempt to prepare for the remodel. So, yeah, remember I dropped the roof on my house head? That was funny. So it waits to be beautiful. Yeah, or be sold. One or the other. It was hilarious. I got out of it like nearly in, well, I had a fucked up wrist for like 6 months, but other than that, I'm all healed now, so hilarious. What would the remodel cost to finish? A lot. Because it's like, it's a tough situation is the problem, right? Like, I could put back on the room I tore off, and that wouldn't cost a fortune. But it would at least get the house into a more livable... Like, it's livable for me, but not, you know... Anyway. Would get into a more livable, more sellable position. Oh, no. But then it's kind of like, you know... just throwing money away. Or I could do the addition I'd planned to do, but then you're looking at like 50 plus grand. I loved remodeling houses, and we done a couple now. We had done a couple. But yeah. Yeah, and right now, fucking construction materials have like quadrupled in price. Which is a big part of why the housing market is so bananas. But if it ever goes back to normal, it's gonna do real weird shit to the housing market. I'm drowsy. I'm excited. I'm drowsy. Out of the house's equity to pay for the remodel. I haven't lived here long enough. There is no equity either because there's a giant fucking hole in it. It's really hard to get equity out of a house with a giant fucking hole in it. I also couldn't afford it. Like I couldn't afford a home equity loan even if I could get it. I'm not trying to whine. I'm not trying to complain. And it's just the reality is when Kim left, everything is way more than I can handle. It just is. And I've been slowly trying to downsize as I can. But right now we're just in like, you know, Uh, survival mode. We're not making any gains here. We're treading water. Trying to tread water as long as we can. Why don't I sleep in the bed? I never need to sleep in the bed. Ever. Not even once. Things will get better? I mean, I don't think they're that. Like, they're not that. I'm broke. That's not anywhere near the worst my life has ever been. I don't know. Yeah, beds are for snacking, not sleeping. It's just slow catching up. If I can get everything back on track and slowly getting rid of things I owe money on. You know, I got left with a car payment, a house payment. I was in the middle of remodeling 2 houses. And it makes me sound super wealthy or something, but Michigan property fucking dirt cheap. One of the houses I got for 18 grand. The problem is I'm in the middle of remodeling too, so like, you know, neither is in a good place to sell them. My little brother started living in the other one for now, which has helped. I'm way too slow to dodge that. What do you want me to do, game? I'm fucking Maggie. That's horrible. What are you doing? Oh. I never remember this attack, because normally I beat you during the dashy phase. What's this? Oh, oh. That dashy phase is just hell. The rest of this fight is manageable. Worst part about the dashy phase is you just like can't really even see it coming. Yeah, prices have gone back up, Zerkix. For sure. I have the other one I've debated back and forth on selling. Like I said, I'm running into my little brother right now, and I've debated back and forth on selling it. It'd be like a nice temporary relief, but it doesn't solve my permanent problem of, you know, bills higher than income. So renting it to him doesn't solve my temporary problems, but it does solve the rent higher than or bills higher than income, you know. I'm like net positive like $100 a month right now, which is, you know, that's survival. That's survival, baby. Wow, I did really, really bad there. I'm definitely not going to beat this. And with streaming, it's hit or miss. Some months it's good, some months are bad, you know. You get if I get a sponsored deal, that's some fun money to do like this vacation we did. It's surprisingly consistent. Besides the sponsored content, that's super inconsistent. Besides, oh, I'm Lazarus now. Oh, that doesn't do anything, guys. Besides the sponsored content, it's surprisingly consistent. I don't... See, I feel so guilty. Now I just feel bad, and I hate it. Thank you. It's It's like a dating app. I feel like no matter how genuine I am, it's gonna feel like I'm probably a scumbag. That's a lot. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't move fast enough. I unlocked the character, all I really care about, and I never ever want to play Maggie again. Subs, tips, bits, all that shit that lets me do this for a living. I appreciate it, and I'll see you probably tomorrow.